Puju, wago shindagu, migizi indodem, gazagasquaji mekag, indun jiba. I'd like to share a little bit about the Bluff War today, which is an altercation that the Ute and Paiute endured with the United States government in 1915. A lot of times we think of the Indian Wars as something that happened back in the 1800s and earlier, but the fact of the matter is the United States government was in the business of subjugating Native people well into the 1900s. In fact, the Ute and Paiute, who are linguistic and cultural cousins to one another but independent, had many bands that refused to sign treaties with the United States government, refused to sell land, and continued to live much as they always had, where they always had, in the desert Southwest and Great Basin areas, and continued to do that throughout the treaty period and well beyond. In fact, in 1914 and 1915, there were two bands. There was a band of Ute under the leadership of Chief Posey. That was of about 100 people. And there was another separate band of Paiute under the leadership of Chief Polk. And they had been living in their villages, parties to no treaty, had signed and ceded no land and no rights. But the U.S. government considered all of the other treaties they had with other groups of Ute and Paiute as binding on these bands. And in 1914, there was an altercation with the Paiute chief's son and some American authorities. And after that, they sent a group out to effect his arrest. He, the chief and his band retreated into the desert, and then fearing for reprisal, the nearby Posey band of Ute also retreated, and they hid out in the desert in two separate encampments, close enough to support one another, but still independent. Initially, U.S. Marshal Nebuchadnezzar, went out to try to arrest the chief's son and bring everyone else into a reservation, and was unsuccessful. The natives kind of chased him off. After that, they sent out a call for a military deployment, and General Hugh Scott brought a detachment of soldiers out to subjugate the natives. Scott sought a diplomatic end eventually to the standoff in the Bluff War. There were a number of shootouts, and both of the chiefs agreed to come in. However, many of the other Ute and Paiute continued to hide out, and the U.S. Army was busy trying to round them up until 1921. And if you could imagine, the U.S. Army is still chasing natives around in the American Southwest in the 1920s, but that's exactly what happened. There were about 160 Ute that were brought in by 1921. The remainers, who were still out there, the U.S. government simply notified all of the Ute people that anyone who was not living on a reservation was no longer Ute in the eyes of the United States government. They would be white citizens with brown skins and would lose their indigenous identity if they didn't come into the reservations. Some stayed out there and some came in, and that was the end of the Bluff War in the American Southwest. Thank you for listening. Miigwech. Thanks for watching today. I'm Anton Troyer. Let's keep in touch. I'm active on social media, and my website has lots of information on my books, speaking engagements, free Ojibwe language resources, resources for teachers, and more. Miigwech.